Hey everyone, Dr. Tyrell Detweiler here with Hybrid Performance Group and Team Elite FTS. And today we're going to go through a quick and easy lumbar exercise that you can utilize a band for, and then we're going to branch off in a couple different variations of that exercise. And for the purpose of basically being able to open up those joints of the lower back of the lumbar spine and to get a little bit of fluid dynamics started up in those disc areas. So again, transfer of fluid inside and outside of that intervertebral disc, and basically just try to increase that recovery. This is going to be a really good exercise to be doing post-workout or on recovery days. And again, this is just kind of giving you a little bit of a variance in what most of your training is going to be, which is compression of the spine. So in this, we're trying to apply a little bit of traction, open up those joints, and get that fluid diffusion back and forth in and out of that intervertebral disc and increase that recovery. So what that's going to look like is we're going to take a light band, and we're going to basically double it up on top of itself and go to a lying position to set that band up. So we're going to place that band underneath the lower back. So wherever you want that lumbar spine traction to come from, you need to put that band right at that spot. And the next section we're going to do is basically just attaching that band. So we're going to bring it over the top of the knee. Make sure you're bringing it past the patella, just for the sake of being able to make sure that this band actually stays here when we roll over to our side. So, same thing. And then when those bands are set, to simply put, we're just going to go ahead and roll over, and we're going to get to that starting position for the stretch. Now, as you'll see in this position, now I've got this band right here in the lower back where I want it. If I want to move it from this position, I can go ahead and shift up or down from there. But basically, this is going to give us that tension that's going to be running down the sides of these bands and basically just be tractioning into that lower back. So from this position, I can go into just a seated type position, pushing my hips back, and I can start to, as that lower back starts to separate, I can start to get a little bit of added traction from that band. Again, if I need to move it a little bit, I can move it down, and that'll just change where that traction is being applied. So sitting back and just feeling that separate a little bit. Now from here, I can also go into a variation that we're all familiar with. This would be the cat-cow or cat-camel stretches. So going into full extension in the spine, and then going into full flexion of the spine. And again, just going back and forth, band's just going to add a little bit of extra to it. Okay. From this position, I can also go into any of my thoracic spine mobility exercises. So if I wanted to reach through and work into that thoracic rotation, I can do the same thing as well. And in this line, we're working that spiral sling that we're basically getting from opposite hip across to the QL and into the lat. We're getting that stretch as we go through here, so we can get a nice little addition to this variance here. So those are a couple different ways that you can utilize the band. You can also, in any other route, just kind of go to hands and elbows, and you can just rock back and forth each way. Again, any kind of variance that just adds a little bit of change in those vector forces is what we're looking for here. So by all means, in this position, again, feel free to play with those positions, with whatever feels best for you. But again, the whole purpose here is we're trying to apply some of that traction. So to take this off, be careful so you don't have it slip around and hit you. But that's going to be the lumbar spine traction with the band in the quadruped position.